Here today we're going to be talking about the 12 micro habits that I have been doing to improve my life.
First time in a long time, hurting deeply inside.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea. If you're new here, I do lifestyle, beauty, and fashion content. Today we're going to be talking about the 12 micro habits that I have been doing and using to improve my life. Let's get into it. These are some of the tips that I have been using. They have been very helpful along my journey. When you're making life changes, it's not an overnight thing. These are all things that you're going to take day by day and just try to improve on as you go along. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight. You want to make sure that you are implementing things in your life that are going to be sustainable and maintainable for you and your lifestyle. So whatever you find in this video that does not fit for you, or you feel like you want to tweak it a little bit, tweak it. These 12 micro tips and habits are just habits that I have been using to try to help me as a person and help my growth and development journey. If you are new here, I am in my late 20s, so I have really been trying to find ways to kind of level up with my mindset and the way I think and the way I act as well, because your girl is a grown woman, okay? So at this point, there's no excuses for some of the habits and things that I know I need to change. It's just time to take accountability and really work on those things. So let's talk about some of the habits that I have been using on a daily basis to help improve my self-love and self-care journey and just grow as an overall person. So let's get into habit number one. I would say my main habit that I have been trying to maintain throughout my self-love journey or my leveling up journey would have to be maintaining a clean space. As you can see, my room is nice and clean. I am so such a stickler when it comes to making my bed every single morning. And when I say this changes your mindset, because it just gives you the discipline to do so every single day. And I feel like when you do those things, it does help a ton. And if you are not making your bed, I say at least try once a week. Try to implement the habit that you want to change at least one time a week and build on that. So on that, because once you build discipline to change one habit and then you're in that consistent group of things, it just helps with the next step. So then you can add to it, especially when you're consistent on that one thing. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, y'all, I'm not motivated to make my bed and keep my house clean all the time. And you don't have the motivation, that's when you need to have the discipline to do the things that you know that you need to do in order to keep your habits going and keep your life in the right direction as to where you want it to go. So I definitely would say maintaining a clean space is number one. You want to make sure that you maintain a clean space as much as possible. And if doing it every single day is too much for you, try to do habit stacking techniques so that you try it maybe once a week and then go from there. It doesn't have to be an overnight thing. Nothing is gonna be overnight, girl, okay? It's gonna take time, it's gonna take dedication, and it's also gonna take just getting in the rhythm of things. I'm getting a mic soon, so if it is a bit of an echo in here, I apologize in advance, but we're gonna get a mic, okay, and it's gonna be a lot better. Like I said, I'm on this journey of a rebrand. Your girl is entering her grown woman era, okay? So please don't be too harsh on me on the audio. I know it is a lot. So let's get into the second habit that I have been using to help improve my day-to-day life. Habit number 2 would definitely have to be dressing the part. I have been envisioning this woman that I see myself as, and she's very classy. She has her stuff together and she is not playing around. Even when it comes to her pajamas, when it comes to her everyday wear, dressing the part, or even if I'm going to an event, envision myself how I want to show up in that space and go ahead and be that person. It's about showing up as the person that you desire to be every single day. And of course, that's not to say that you're gonna have every single day is gonna be great, and that's not the case. Some days are gonna be high, and some days are gonna be a little bit lower. But the thing is trying to constantly envision yourself as the higher version of yourself. And I know you guys hear this all the time, but it really does work. Sometimes when I wanna throw on the sweatpants, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just throw on some sweatpants and my hair is gonna be looking crazy, I'm gonna put on a beanie. I had to tell myself girl, don't do that. At least try to do something to your hair. Put it in a low bun, or make sure that your nails look manicured. And even if you don't have nails on, put some cuticle oil on. Do the small things that are gonna help level up those habits. Do the small things, because I'm telling you guys, the small things help so much. Try out Amazon. Amazon has plenty of matching sets for $20. $20-$30 you can get you a matching set, or even $40. Sometimes Amazon is a little bit pricey. We already know the girls have blown up Amazon on TikTok. Hey baby, they are charging a little bit more. There are a lot of different places that you can try to find different matching sets or different outfits to help level up your wardrobe. So that's something that I'm currently trying to invest in, is my wardrobe, and try to add pieces that are not only like fashion forward, but also not as trendy. I'm not like leaning into like the trendy stuff as much as I used to, and I'm trying to lean more into like the capsule wardrobe pieces. I feel like those things are gonna always get you going when you have something to do or somewhere to go. You're always gonna have something in your closet that you can choose from when you do have those pieces in your closet. If you wanna buy yourself one thing a week, it takes $20 to $30. Put that aside so that you can buy yourself something nice as far as like your appearance and matching sets or whatever the case, whatever you like. And it doesn't have to be matching sets. If you're not a matching set girly, or if you don't like, you know, super monochromatic pieces, that's fine too. But find stuff that works for your wardrobe and that you can build upon and always have something to wear. The next micro habit that I have been using on a day-to-day basis will have to be listening to soft music. I'm still a Future girl. I'm still a Gunna girl. Like, I'm still a little baby type of vibe. Like, I love that type of music still. But I try not to listen to it all throughout the day, because I'm telling you, like, why am I irritated? You'll be waking up like, why am I irritated? Or why do I feel like just so, you know, just so aggressive? You listen to soft music, lo-fi music in the morning, or even jazz music, or even podcasts. I can go down the line, you guys, but making that little micro habit can definitely help boost that feminine energy. It can put you in that vibe, that mode of like, I'm that girl, like I'm putting on my robe is nice, and it just makes your experience a lot better versus listening to trap music. And that's not saying like, you know, it's a time and a place, but maybe not the first thing that you hear in the morning at 7 a.m. is trap music. I would highly recommend try changing up your music selection, because sometimes those little small things can definitely help improve your life. So that's something that I have been doing, girl, because when I tell you, like, first thing in the morning, especially through a workout. Now workouts, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm still listening to a little bit of, you know, a music that has that oomph, because let me tell you, I can't be listening to lo-fi music and I'm lifting weights, you know. But like I said, there is a time and a place, and figuring out what time and what place you want to listen to those type of things will definitely help with those micro habits that you want to build upon. Number 4 on my list will have to be invest in your clothes and invest in your pajamas. I know this goes back to number 2, but when I say invest, I mean like, let's not throw on the college t-shirts every night before bed, you know, or let's invest into a cute matching set from Target for, you know, $20. Like, let's figure out different things that we can do to help, you know, us feel like a lot more sexy or a lot more soft, or whatever the case may be, whatever feeling that you want to feel when you're going to bed. Like, let's lean more into that versus like just throwing something on. Half the time we already have our bonnets on, we have our hair wrapped up, we have a face mask on, you know. So in order to level up those experiences, maybe try buying yourself a nice robe or whatever you like. Lean more into those things. And again, it doesn't have to be like the cookie cutter version. You have the feather robes, or figuring out what's for you and build upon that. But I will say, it may be time to let those t-shirts go. I have college t-shirts in my closet right now that I try not to just throw on when I'm going to bed, unless it's just a week where I have not gotten a chance to wash my clothes like that, like I want to, and that's all I have left for the week. If I can avoid that, I love to do like even just a cute tank top, just a nice little tank top and some pajama pants. Figuring out what works for you and what's comfortable to you and your body, so that you can sleep in, feel comfortable, get a good nice rest. That kind of leans into that capsule wardrobe thing. Like I said, I'm trying to build my capsule wardrobe. I want to have more sustainable pieces versus like fast fashion. Not saying anything is wrong with Fashion Nova or Pretty Little Things. I still have been purchasing things from both. However, I look for pieces that I can build upon versus like just a bodysuit that has all the prints on there and I only can wear with one thing. Figuring out what you can do to kind of level up your wardrobe for your budget. Everybody doesn't have, you know, Skims money or Wolford money, you know, to buy a $250 bodysuit. It doesn't take all of that. Sometimes you can even go on Pretty Little Thing and go search for like a basic white bodysuit, a basic tan bodysuit, a basic black, and the list goes on and on, so that you can have those basic pieces and you can always have something to wear. In the past, I feel like I have all these clothes and I have nothing to wear. So figuring out what your capsule wardrobe would look like and what you desire it to look like, I would definitely say invest in your clothes. It makes a big difference. The fifth habit that I have been implementing into my day-to-day life would have to be romanticizing the small things. And I mean, that's when you're making your breakfast. Don't just slap your food on the plate, throw your stuff together. Actually take time to put the presentation together, or if you do have the time. Now, sometimes, you know, our work schedules or our life be lifing, girl, and sometimes you don't have time to do that. But when you do have the time, take the time to romanticize the small things. If you are getting to the shower, maybe take an extra 5 minutes in the shower, 10 minutes to do a self-care routine. Maybe actually do a nice body scrub or an exfoliating routine or a gua sha, like whatever that is. It don't have to be all of those things at one time. Maybe just try one thing. I'm telling you, it's the one thing that you do to build onto the next things. That's what's most important. And so that's what I'm learning along this rebrand, this self-care journey, this self-love journey, is it's the one thing that you do even when you don't feel like it, because that way you can still achieve what you wanted to achieve. You're still pouring into yourself a bit and romanticizing the small things versus just hopping in the shower, doing a little wash and go and calling it a day, you know? So just figuring out what are the small things that you want to romanticize in your life. I have also been trying to make sure that I get my walks and my steps in. Now with this new hair, girl, I don't know how often I'm gonna be getting out there and walking. So that's why I'm trying to like figure out how I want to eat, because I may do like a little bit of an intermittent fasting just to make sure I'm maintaining, like, you know, my weight in my body, and doing low impact workouts versus high intensity workouts to maintain the hair, girl. The sixth micro habit that I have been implementing into my life would have to be finding activities that I thoroughly enjoy. And for me right now, it's just walking or getting that walk in. Like, I'm excited because I'm like, okay, girl, when I see them steps and I'm at 10,000, I'm like, okay, I can push to 12,000. And when I'm at 12,000, I'm like, okay, let's push a little bit more to 14. And in that moment, you're like, you're your own cheerleader, you know? And I love that, because sometimes you may not have like a crowd or a group of people to walk with, but sometimes it's just yourself, and you have to be your own cheerleader to get out there and do the work. But at the same time, it's not more so work for me, it's more so like enjoyment, and I need to get outside. I would say about 80% of the time, because of my job, I'm at the house. So getting outside, I really look forward to those moments. I also want to get into different things like pottery. I'm gonna take different pottery classes here in Atlanta. So that's something that I'm gonna be adding to my like self-care solo dates type of thing. I'm really just trying to really get and love on myself, you know, especially in the season that I'm in, because I'm not dating or anything like that. So finding habits and hobbies that I love is something that I'm really looking forward to in the season. At least take myself on one solo date a week and actually make a flower arrangement for myself. I love flowers. I love all things like flowers. It's like super girly and all that kind of stuff. So I do want to start like getting flower arrangements and actually taking the time to make them, and really like building on that skill, because that's a skill. Like the girls ain't out here just throwing flower arrangements. It takes skill and knowledge and how to work the flowers. It's like, it takes work. If you have some hobbies that you love, drop them in the comment section. I want us to grow a community here where we all share different ideas and thoughts on how we can better ourselves, because that's really what I'm focused on. And again, I'm not that girl that's gonna preach to you and say like, hey, every day's gonna be a good day, because some days be trying, okay? Some days it's gonna test you. It's worth at least trying to make it a good day. My micro tip number 7 that has been helping me tap into that feminine energy would definitely have to be journaling and meditating. In the morning, I highly advise you guys, please do not get on social media. Please just put the phone down. And typically in the morning, I like to get up, I'll pray in the morning, I'll read my Bible, and then I'll just take some time to just kind of sit with my thoughts, assess how I feel for that day. And I also like to listen to like podcasts and different things like that to really help me as a person and help my development journey. I can't listen to like full-blown music as the first thing when I wake up. And I also try my best to avoid like TikTok and Instagram and even YouTube unless it's like a podcast. This has helped me so much, because not only do I get to spend time with myself and I get to pour into me, I honestly don't like interacting with people when I first wake up in the morning, because I have to assess how I feel first before even pouring into somebody else, their energy, or figuring out like how they feel. I have to assess that for myself. So I highly recommend, if you can avoid interaction with people too when you first wake up, even in the first 20 to 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour. Life, y'all, life be lifing. And before you walk into different things that you have to face throughout the day, at least pour into yourself and fill your cup. I have been listening to a little bit of Joe Dispenza. If you have not heard of him, I'll link a few YouTube videos down here below as well. If I can remember, I'll be sure to link that in the description box, so if you're open to it and you can check it out. I'm trying to get more consistent on the journaling and writing in my journal every single morning. I usually do it at least three times a week, but I want to get into the everyday thing, every day and every night, to really make my manifestations come true. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that journey as well, because I want to get more consistent with that, because like I said, sometimes you won't be motivated, you won't feel like writing, but you need to have the discipline. So that's something I'm really trying to work on, is discipline for myself, because if I can master discipline, I can master anything in my life. Micro tip number 8 that I have been using, podcast. I literally listen to a podcast every single day. It's like on my YouTube recommended at this point. Mel Robbins is someone I've been listening to on a day-to-day basis. She definitely gives tips, like if you are even having a hard time in life, or certain things that you know, like even with your inner child that you need to work on. That she was talking about the high five theory, and especially if you're having a difficult time in life right now, when you wake up in the morning, like give yourself a high five. Like if you made your bed or whatever the case may be, give yourself a high five for that, because in your brain, something chemically in your brain kicks in, and it just recognizes like, hey, I'm doing a good job. Especially if you don't have people in your life affirming you or supporting you in the way that you would desire them to. Give yourself a high five. So I'll link that as well, because that was a helpful video for myself. Another podcast that I have been listening to is Habits of a Goddess podcast. I did get this tip from Jazz Turner. I know you guys know Jazz Turner. She's like the self-care guru girl. So if you're watching this, hey babe, love her content, love her videos, but she put me on to the Habits of a Goddess podcast. I think she releases it every Monday, if I'm not mistaken. But they just give you like different affirmations that we need, okay? And if you are a black girl, download this podcast, okay? Because sometimes we need to be affirmed in a certain way as well. Yeah, that's something that I have been implementing into my day-to-day life, and it has definitely helped a ton, and I highly recommend you try it. If you have any podcasts that you are currently loving, I'm just gonna list 2. I'll probably add some more to the description box, just in case some other people are interested in some cool podcasts. But if you have some tips, the girls want to know in the comment section, so go ahead and drop them down below. But number 9, what do you think number 9 is? Just look at me. Get your hair done, y'all. Never knew what I was missing until yesterday. Cause I'm more of a do-it-myself type of girl. Like, these nails are press-ons and I did them myself, which is nothing wrong with my do-it-yourself girlies, cause I'm one of them. I'm you. We're here. But if you can afford to, get your hair done. Sitting back in the shampoo bowl and allowing somebody else to do your hair, it's just life-changing, okay? And that's not to say I haven't got my hair done before. I know I'm talking like I haven't, but it's been a very long time, because my mom, she was a hairstylist for 30 years, but then she retired, baby, and she was not doing hair no more. I had to get it how I lived. And baby, when I tell you, I was throwing on wigs, and the wigs were cool. I'm still like a wig girly. I wouldn't mind being a wig girly like here and there. But as far as like always doing every single service myself, sometimes for me personally, that can be draining. For somebody else, they can genuinely enjoy doing all their services themselves. You get to keep your money, all that kind of stuff. But it's something about getting your hair done. And I'm gonna also link her information here as well. Her name is Hair Guru. That's who I went to. And then she has a hair line called Glam Affair. So make sure that you guys check her out, because the hair is tea, okay? And these are 4 bundles, baby. Hair is tea, heavy layers, okay? Get into it. You know, like those little things, like when you look at yourself, you want to be able to affirm yourself. You want to be able to feel good about you. So I highly recommend that, making sure that you get your hair done, or even if you're not in the space to get your hair done, try different styles on your hair if you are doing your own hair. Because I was also doing silk presses on my hair for a while. But if you can afford it, I highly recommend you implement it into your budget. Tip number 10, tap into that feminine energy and level up your life. I would definitely have to say is rest. Prioritize rest. I know that sounds so crazy, like, girl, I'm supposed to be productive, I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z all the time, but prioritizing rest is so important. You don't have to feel like there's always something to do. Even if there's always something to do, let that sink in. Like, you don't have to always feel like there's something to do, even if you have 1,000,001 things to do. Like, sometimes you can take a break and say, hey, I need this time for myself so that I can show up in different spaces and places that I need to as my best self. Because you can't, if your battery is always on low, you know, that's like a taboo type of tip. But I highly recommend it, because I am that person that if I have a lot to do, I got a lot to do. You know, like, I have a lot to do and I can't slow down, or that type of thing. But sometimes, like, if you don't slow down, your body will slow you down, or even your mind will slow you down. So making sure that you take that time to rest and just take time for yourself and say, hey, you know, today I'm chilling. Or if you are the person that works from home, maybe say, hey, like, today I'm actually gonna work in my bed today. Catch these meetings in the bed. And that's okay. Like, you don't always have to be hyper productive all of the time, because that will slow you down. Micro tip number 11 would definitely have to be making sure that you smell good at all times is important. Making sure that your body is oiled and looking nice and not dry. I know that seems like such a crazy micro tip. You can really control a room even just based on how you smell. I just say making sure that you invest into a signature scent for yourself. I feel like that's important. That's something that I have a lot of fragrances at the moment, and I have my signature scent, which will be Gentle Fluidity Gold, MFK Satin Oud. You put those two together. I love the way they smell, but for everyone that might not work. But Gentle Fluidity Gold, that's chef's kiss. Everybody loves that one. Even if that's a little bit out of your budget, try different perfumes that you may like. You can always go to Ulta, you can always go to Sephora, or even get a travel size. They're like $30 to just, pop in your purse or wherever you're going, to making sure that you're always smelling good. Ensure that you are feeling like that girl. The whole point of this video, I just want to give you guys tips that I'm currently implementing into my life to make sure that I feel like that girl at all times. Again, that's not to say that you're going to have that feeling every single day, but just trying to try new things and do new things so that you can feel like your best self every day. This may be a little bit taboo as well, because it just depends on your background and how you were raised, because everybody won't be able to resonate with this tip. But get out of survival mode. Being in survival mode will definitely hold you back in so many different ways of life, and I am learning that every single day. Getting out of survival mode and feeling like you always have to figure things out, that is important to relinquish and let go of and just let it be, okay? Because if you're always in survival mode, you can't show up as that soft feminine entity that you were, born to be. So that's something that I'm currently striving to work through, is to just relinquish that survival mode, girl. You don't have to be Miss Fix It. You don't have to be Miss Figure It Out. You don't have to be Miss Solve the Problem. Sometimes you can just be Miss Let It Be. Okay? Yeah, those are my 12 micro tips that I have been implementing into my life to increase that feminine energy and just really tap into the best version of myself. That's who I'm on the journey to becoming. So if you guys will want to stay tuned for this journey, definitely keep on watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so that you won't miss any content from me, and you won't miss any self-care tips or vlogs or even fashion videos. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy listening to my 12 micro habits video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
First time in a long time. Hurting deeply inside.